I haven't done a YouTube live in so long, and I'm sitting here. Yes, I'm drinking out of a jar, but it's coffee. I got my bathrobe on. We're gonna do, I got just pulled to come here today. It's been probably like almost 2 years since I've done a live here. My battery's gonna die soon, and my class starts in half an hour, so I can't be here for very long. My hair's a mess. Literally got out of bed. Felt like just getting on. That's what I did. No makeup, nothing. Okay, so what I want, Spirit, is cards for the collective. Somebody needs this message. I don't even know what it's about yet. Spirit of angels, truth, love, light, benevolent darkness, please guide my words. Let me say the things that need to be said in this moment. I ask that you delete and cancel and push out any energies that are confusing and don't want to be helpful. We only want energies that are here for our highest good only. Please help me say the correct words in the correct moment to the correct people. Let the people who need to hear this hear this. Thank you for this gift, and please protect my ego while I ask you to set it aside during the duration of the reading, so I can be clear and concise as possible and unbiased as I possibly can be. Do these have filters? Is that what that is? Oh my god. Hold on. They actually do. Doesn't look like there's any live, or it's not loading, whatever, but they've updated their system. Okay, guys. We're gonna do 6 cards. Look at you, a storyline. What do the people need to know today? What is the biggest message? Starting off sweet, getting a little sour. Okay, we start off with the 6 of Cups, beautiful. Moving into the Tower after that. Then we have a... Oh, I see. Right, there's somebody here who was forming a relationship or has a feeling that they're better in a relationship. But all of that's kind of getting broken down. And you're finding out that you're standing alone, you have more value right now. I'm not saying that like you can't be in a relationship in the future, but there's a lot of things you need to do by yourself right now. I guess this is a relationship reading. So what you're needing to cultivate is your ability to make money, your ability to emotionally regulate, and your ability to receive what it is that you are meant to receive. So we have, okay, so we go from 6 of Cups to the Tower, 9 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, 9 of Cups, and then we have the Death card, which is basically your rebirth cycle. You have some significant difficulties. I'll show you the cards. This is the 6 of Cups. Okay. The Tower. 9 of Pentacles. Fly as fuck. Queen of Cups. 9 of Cups. Death, okay. So I'll break these down a little bit, but I do have a battery that's draining, so. Racing for the time. I got pulled to come here and do this, so here we are. So the relationship that you kind of thought was based in purity was maybe one-sided, and pure on one side. And you're seeing that you were the one that you were falling in love with the whole time, because the other person was being fake as fuck and you were being real. So there's this energy of hyper independence involved in this, but you're kind of supposed to go through that pattern. You have to learn that you can trust yourself, you can trust your feelings, you can give yourself luxurious things and be able to hold energy for luxury. And this death card, I don't believe is like indicative of, it's like a weird, there's, one second. Gotta marinate, because it's not like a bad change, but there's a change in self-perception. Oh. So perhaps this change in self-perception, okay, you think you need somebody, and you go through all this time period of learning how to tangibly, physically, you know, give yourself money and have luxuriousness to yourself, being able to be selfish, being able to luxuriate and cultivate like a lot of softness inside yourself. And you're so protective of this softness because it's brought you so much that I think what you wanted out of relationships in the first place changes entirely. There's a chance that shit's not sweet anymore with you because you feel more powerful and you want to explore some kinks, perhaps. That's why the death card, because you're going through a period of change that is very like shook up from the bottom up. Everything, your self-perception is changing, therefore your desires change. Why am I here today? Somebody needed this. All right, so let's do some oracle cards to clarify. Like, what else do we need to know? What other wisdom can we learn from plants? What is other information we can pick up? Give us as much as we possibly can in this short amount of time. Very interesting. So I pulled the poppy card. Does this... I think part of this death, I mean, quite literally, the poppy is about dreams. It's ruled by Morpheus, the god of deep rest and dreams, being transfixed. It's a Saturn, Neptune card. Boundaries of consciousness changing, being softer, and too much poppy. I mean, there's an element of death. There's a liminal space here. So there's a shakeup. And I believe this death, that's to clarify the death with this herbal card. Liminal space. Actually, I want to clarify it like this. What else can we learn about the death card? What happens after, perhaps, what happens after this space where you sort of lose consciousness in a way? There's a loss of consciousness. Why is this part of the journey? You can't get any more literal than this. The dead must rise. The miracle can't happen without this dip into your subconscious, your death, your rebirth cycle. Like, This is very complicated because it's not just relationships anymore. It becomes about the singularity and the totality of your entire existence and your consciousness. So this is not just about relationships. This is about your entire perception of self, where you are in the world, what you can offer. You gotta let shit go because there's too many. It's gonna be scary, okay? Like, not every step is gonna be scary, but you're moving into a level of self-mastery and sovereignty that you've never seen before. Say, if you're used to settling to be with around people in relationships, for instance, and you start to have those foundations shook away from you, and you realize that nobody is worth settling for, you become a little arrogant in a way, self-satisfying at least, and wishes and positivity start coming your way because you've gotten so self-focused about, yes, your feelings matter, what you want does matter. And you start to perhaps stop doing the things that you were doing before, but also in the interest of opening your life up and dreaming, holding more energy, and then maybe not knowing how it'll happen, but miracles will unfold. I'm trying to think, feel into this card. I think part of this is releasing your own judgment as to how things look on the surface. That's why we have the Neptune Saturn thing here, because when things change and you are dreaming dreams, you're going to have to establish new boundaries to things, and it might not be clear as to what those are to begin with. So it's going to take not the same faith that the Hanged Man has. This is not a submission to a higher power faith. This is it's not either. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as religious or blind faith aspect, but this is more like in the trenches, showing your faith through action, but still not being able to see your way out. Making a sacrifice, in other words, for this to be built. It's like getting sober. Because when after you've done substances for an extremely long time, you start to have to re-anchor yourself in your emotions. With your cups, the pentacles is like getting your life back together. Maybe that relationship you thought it was wholesome, but it really wasn't. It was more codependent, and that's why it had to fall down. You know, it might not even be a love relationship. It might be your relationship to substances. Yeah, it could be to people. It could be to circumstance. Something that keeps you locked in a sense of idyllicness, but that's not putting you into power. It reminds me kind of like a Disney adult. That's a hot topic right now. Realizing that they can't play pretend their whole life. So when you sober up, You have to get your tangibility, your money together, survival, feeling your best, looking your best, changing everything about your appearance for real. Your emotional state needs to be more solid because you're dealing with everything that you couldn't deal with while you were high or drunk or whatever. The Nine of Cups does have a picture of alcohol on it. But I'm not taking that literally. It doesn't feel literal. It's more of a ritual of satisfaction. Finding a way to ritualize satisfaction instead of ritualizing high emotion to evacuate your body from them. This is like a white knuckle grip on consciousness. And you will recover. You are recovering. So whether it's an addiction to idyllic relationships, alcohol, drugs, your addictions are getting broken and you are coming out of this clawing and scraping your way out of a deep dark hole. And it's like fate even. Maybe something that feels, because platitudes about God can feel so shallow when you've been abused by religion and people in religion. It's deeper than that. The faith that comes out of this whole cycle feels like force, feels like a boost of positivity from the darkest places. So you're crawling out of a big hole and achieving something beautiful here. No wonder why I got asked to show up. What shadows are we facing? Depression. Okay. This too shall pass, every storm brings a rainbow. It's hard work. Sadness, hopelessness, and despair. So I feel like this is all you just don't know how you're going to live without this crutch that you had at the beginning. Whatever the Six of Cups was. That felt like all you ever knew. You're just redefining who you are. And it's going to feel a little depressing, but you'll figure it out. Most changes feel nerve-wracking. That's why people don't tend to like them. But I like changing my life. Anyway, my battery's almost dead. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes. And hopefully whoever saw this, it resonated and I can come back later and do more of these because this was actually kind of fun. I'll come back to YouTube more soon. Congratulations. That's a hell of a journey you're going through. Proud of you. Bye.